home aquariums continue to be very popular, but how do you know what maybe should be in your aquarium at home and maybe what you should leave out? Here with some great suggestions is John Skimp, co-owner of Creative Aquariums of Tampa, and Samantha Greeny. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Excited to have you on this morning and talk about this. Give us a little Aquarium 101, because I think there is something so fascinating, I think especially for families here in the Bay Area, about having an aquarium in our own home, a piece of the ocean, right?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having us out here, by the way. Yeah, a little Aquarium 101 for you. It's not necessarily a difficult thing, but it's not something that you just want to go out and buy an aquarium and think that you can set it all up and it's just going to thrive. You actually do have to take care of it. And so we've all heard about years ago when Finding Nemo came out, that a lot of people went out and bought clownfish, and we had a huge hit on clownfish around the world. Well, we're here to try to help dissuade people from going out and just buying a tank just to put Dory in the tank for your kids.
Yeah, so talk about Dory and what is actually, it's a blue tang, is that right?
Blue hippo tang.
Okay,
yes.
so and explain the difference between what Nemo, the clownfish, is and the blue tang, because from what I understand, if you know, there's maybe some other better options to put in the tank, right?
Sure. So Nemo, your standard clownfish, is going to stay much smaller. They only get about 3 inches maximum, whereas Dory, the blue hippo tang, is going to get about 12 inches. So Nemo, or your clownfish, can fit in a much smaller aquarium, but Dory is going to get much bigger and require something much larger.
And that's maybe probably one of the biggest misconceptions, is maybe you just really have to know what you're getting and the size of how they're going to be at the end of their kind of life cycle, right?
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you were to get a fish like a blue tang, it's going to outgrow this tank in probably just a couple of months.
Oh, is that it?
They grow quickly when they're small. So you really don't even want to get one of those unless you're starting off with a 65 or 75 gallon aquarium. And then in a couple of years, you're going to need to upgrade the aquarium or bring the fish back into us and we'll trade it out for something smaller.
Right. Fish stores will accept them as a trade, so if it ever gets too big, you can always bring them back. So you can start small, but bear in mind that at some point you're going to have to bring it back in or upgrade your aquarium.
Yeah. Kind of explain the difference too. We're talking about saltwater this morning. Is that better? You know, if you're diving right in, this is your first time getting an aquarium, saltwater, freshwater, is there a difference between what may work better or easier?
Well, we're a little bit biased towards the saltwater aquariums over here. Freshwater is very, very easy.
Okay.
And really requires very little maintenance. Saltwater, it's definitely a little bit more maintenance, but what you see here is actually a complete ecosystem. Each saltwater aquarium is its own ecosystem that is completely independent of the ocean, obviously, at this point. So.
Again, very popular here. Hey, we have to talk about something down here at the bottom. This is it a shark egg? Is that what this is?
That is the egg of a banded cat shark.
So again, with Shark Week, people are just, it's on the brain right now. Is it safe? Can you have these in at-home aquariums? What are your thoughts about sharks?
You can keep them in a home aquarium, but it needs to be with the right kind of environment. These sharks are going to get at least 3 foot big, so you have to consider that. You're going to want at least a 180-gallon tank, and be sure that the critters that you have with it are going to be compatible, so fish that it's not going to eat and invertebrates it's not going to eat. And just make sure you have an environment that's suited for the animal.
Is that same for all fish too, to make sure that you're getting fish that are compatible, whether it's a shark or whatever?
Absolutely.
I mean, is that a huge problem where people are just thinking, oh, those look pretty together?
Some fish are aggressive. Even the smallest damsel can be one of the most aggressive guys in a tank with big fish, and can really change the mood. We like to try to specialize in community tanks where everybody gets along, just like if you're out on the reef, you would see the fish.
All right, as we close up, we're just about out of time. What's your take home? If a family, somebody wanting to kind of dive into this, get their first aquarium, what's your advice? What's the best way to start?
First off, you come to Creative Aquariums in Tampa on 150 South Del Mabry, and start off with something small. That's not too much work for you. Make sure that it's your kind of thing.
All-in-one tanks like this are great.
Absolutely. Yeah, this tank right here has filtration in the back. It has the lighting in the hood all built in. It's basically
nice and simple.
Add water, add rock, add fish, add corals. You see we've got a lot of live coral here.
Well, thank you guys so much for bringing this in. So cool. Again, I wish we could keep it the whole time. It's just so beautiful. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. We appreciate it.